Okay, let's jump right into one of the trickiest, but honestly one of the most useful tenses in English, the past continuous. We're going to break it all down, squash those common mistakes, and turn this thing into your new storytelling superpower. So, first things first, take a look at this sentence. She was knowing the answer. It probably feels a little off, right? A lot of English learners, maybe you, know that it's wrong, but it's hard to explain exactly why. And that feeling is what we're going to unpack today. You see, this isn't just some random error. It turns out mistakes with the past continuous are super predictable. It points to a really common misunderstanding of how this tense actually works. And you know what? We are going to fix that right here, right now. So here's the thing. The actual formula for building the past continuous, it's really, really simple. The hard part, the part where almost everyone gets a little stuck, is knowing when to use it, and maybe even more importantly, when not to. All right, let's start with the basic definition. What is this tense even for? Well, the past continuous is all about actions that were in progress at a specific time in the past. The most important words there are in progress. It's for stuff that was unfinished. If the action is over and done with, you're probably using the wrong tense. Now let's see how you actually build it. Like I said, this part's a piece of cake. The basic structure is super straightforward. Once you see it, you'll get it. It's always the same recipe. You take your subject, you add was or were, so was for I, he, she, it, were for you, we, they, and then you just tack ing onto your main verb. That's it. Walking, studying, eating, simple as that. And this image just says it all, doesn't it? You can know that simple formula by heart, but then you see a page of exercises and you realize, whoa, okay, choosing the right tense in the middle of a sentence, that's the real skill. So why do we even have this tense? What's its job? Well, it really has three main gigs, and all of them are about helping you paint a better picture with your words and tell a more interesting story. So think of it like this. You use it when a long action gets interrupted by something short and sudden. You use it to show two things happening at the exact same time. And you use it to set the scene, to describe the background of a story. Okay, here's a classic example of that first use, the interruption. The long background action, I was having a beautiful dream, that's in the past continuous. Then, bam, the short action that cuts it off, the alarm clock rang, is in the past simple. That's the pattern you want to look for. And now for this second use. Here, we've got two things happening at the same time. She was cooking, he was watching. Since they were both in progress together, they both get the past continuous. They're parallel actions. All right, now we get to the really good stuff. This is the part that's going to take your English to the next level. Let's look at the most common traps people fall into so you can see them coming and just sidestep them completely. Trap number one. This is the big one, and it takes us all the way back to that first sentence we looked at. It's all about a special group of verbs called stative verbs. So stative verbs, words like know, want, believe, own, seem, they describe states or feelings, not actions. They're about being, not doing. And because they're not really actions that can be in progress, we almost never ever use them in a continuous tense. I mean, think about it. You don't do knowing, you just know. Okay, on to the next one. This is such a classic mix-up. When you've got that interruption scenario, one long action, one short one, it's really easy to get confused about which verb gets which tense. Let's make this super simple. The rule is this. The long background action gets the past continuous. The short, sudden action that interrupts it always gets the past simple. So her arriving or his knocking, those are quick moments. They interrupt the longer action. And finally, trap number 3. This is one that even more advanced learners can fall into. They learn the past continuous, they think it sounds a little more sophisticated, and then they just start sprinkling it everywhere. It's a classic case of trying too hard. Look, if you're just listing a sequence of completed actions, first this happened, then this happened, then this happened, you have to use the past simple. I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I left home. Using the past continuous here just sounds strange, almost like you were trying to do all those things at the same time. So, when you put it all together, you realize that getting this tense right isn't just about avoiding red marks on a test. It's about unlocking a whole new level of detail in your speaking and writing. It's really about becoming a better storyteller. With this tense, you can create a whole atmosphere. I mean, instead of just saying, the man walked into the room, you can say, the music was playing softly, people were laughing,
and a man walked into the room. Can you feel the difference? You're not just listing facts, you're building a world.
And hey, for those of you who feel like you've got a good handle on this and you're ready for the next level, let's do a quick comparison between the past continuous and an even more advanced tense, the past perfect continuous. Now, this is really cool. Check out this shift in focus here. The past continuous, she was cooking, tells you what was happening at that moment. But the past perfect continuous, she had been cooking, tells you for how long something was happening before that moment. It adds this whole extra layer of history and duration. It's a subtle change, but it's powerful. So, by understanding not just the rules, but the traps and the real storytelling power of this tense, you've moved way beyond just memorizing grammar. You've actually got a powerful new tool for communicating your ideas. The only question left is, what story are you going to tell with it?